Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math. And today we're learning about mastering literal equations. In this video, we're going to be having 5 problems. The first one is going to be rearranging the area formula of a triangle. Then we're going to solve for the radius of a circle. We will then be isolating for speed. We will then solve for time and interest. And lastly, we'll have a complex rearrangement problem. And so, when you're ready, let's get started. Rearrange the formula A equals 1/2 BH to solve for H. All right, let's first write our formula again. Area equals 1/2 base times height. We want to get H by itself. So my first step, I want to get this 1/2 to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by a 2. 1/2 and the 2 cancel. We have BH here on the right. And on the left, we have 2 times A, which is a 2A. Now, I still want to get H by itself. So I have multiplication here, B times H. Opposite multiplication, division. Divide both sides by B. H is now by itself, and it's a 2A over a B. And so H is equal to 2A over B. And we've solved for H in our formula here, and we got H equals a 2A over B. Solve A equals pi r squared for R. Let's rewrite our formula. A equals pi times an R squared. I'm going to solve for R. First thing I want to do is get pi to the other side of the equation. So the multiplication is going on here. Opposite that's division. I'm going to divide pi to both sides of the equation. Pi's cancel on the right, and we have R squared is equal to A over pi. Now we have R squared. The opposite of squaring is to take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root right here over the equal sign of both sides here to eliminate that square to have R by itself. Now normally we would have a plus or minus here, but we cannot have a negative radius practically. So we're only going to have the positive. So we have the square root of A over pi. So now R is by itself, and it's equal to the square root of A over pi. Solve D equals ST for S. Let's rewrite our equation here. D equals S times, that's multiplication there, T. And we want to solve for S. Well, between the S and the T is multiplication. Opposite multiplication, division. Divide T to both sides to try to get S by itself. T's cancel on the right, leaving me S now by itself. And D over T doesn't simplify anymore. We have D over a T here. And so S is by itself, and it's equal to D over T. So our answer, S equals D over T. Solve I equals PRT for T. Let's rewrite our equation here. I equals P times R times T. That's what's going on here. All right, we're going to solve for T. Now, we can almost group this P and R together, right? And that will help us bring it over in one fell swoop to the left. Now, you can do that individually for each one if you want, but I like to do it all together here if it's all multiplication. So I'm going to divide here the PR to both sides of the equation. T is by itself, and I have I over a PR now. Well, T is already by itself, so we have T equals I over a P times an R, or PR. And so T is equal to I over PR. Rearrange A equals P times 1 plus RT to solve for T. All right, let's first rewrite our equation. A equals P times a 1 plus an RT. We want to get T by itself. We kind of want to reverse the order of operations. We're going to start from the outside in, okay? So I'm going to get this P over to the left. It's multiplication going on here. I'm going to divide both sides first by P. So I have an A over P is equal to, P's cancel, don't need a parenthesis anymore, and we have 1 plus an RT. Now, kind of think opposite of order of operations here, right? We have addition, multiplication. Let's go with addition first. Let's get that 1 over to the left. I'm going to subtract a 1 to both sides of the equation. So be careful here. We have A over a P minus a 1, all right, we can't combine it, is equal to, these ones cancel, an r times a t. Now, we have r times a t. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides now by r. It has to go to all of this right there. So now t is by itself. These r's cancel. And I have a over p minus 1 all over r. So if I want to rewrite this, I have t is equal to a over p minus 1 all over all that over r. And so now we solved for t in our equation. I got t equals a over p minus 1, and then all of that divided by r. Now let's review what we learned on literal equations. We first had a problem where we rearranged the area formula of a triangle. Then we solved for the radius of a circle. We isolated an equation for speed. We solved for time and interest. And lastly, we had a complex rearrangement problem. I now leave you with this bonus problem. Solve f equals ma for m. Shouldn't be too bad. See if you can get it. I hope you are a master of literal equations now. And as always, thanks for watching.